It explains everything really well there.
Yeah.
Time now just after 9:15. John Dadian joins us now.
Good morning.
Can you tell us, you have been kind of in tune with all the wires coming down. What's been the latest in the last few hours that you've seen on Capitol Hill as far as a compromise being reached?
Well, I think that the clip that we just saw was perfect as far as putting in perspective that this originally was started 10 years ago,
I know,
and now we're down the last 48 hours. So that tells you quite a bit about our political system.
But it really doesn't surprise you. I mean, we all kind of
doesn't.
figured we'd be here Sunday, even Monday, waiting for an answer.
Here's what I think, to me, is the most interesting part of it, as far as getting something settled, as far as actually accomplishing anything. And it seems like the hardcore negotiations, even though they've been meeting with all of the leadership, it seems like it's really the ball's been in the Senate court now.
Okay.
If Mitch McConnell, the Republican, and Harry Reid, the Democrat, if they can form something, et cetera, and just tell the House Republicans, you're going to have to take this, I think that's where you've seen kind of Speaker Boehner almost take a back seat, which surprises me.
John, there's been talk that it would be a watered-down version of what was wanted. How long does that watered-down version extend to? And is there constant talks, I'm sure, going forward, trying to get what is the heart of a reasonable deal?
Well, and to make a connection, some people have asked me to take a look into 2013. So this clearly is a story that's going to bleed into 2013, probably at least for the first 6 months, not just in January, I think. So to answer your question, it depends how they craft it. There are legislators, so just like when Obama extended the Bush tax cuts, they can put whatever they want, whether it be 90 days, 6 months, or whatever. Again, what you want to see is a complete taking off the fiscal cliff, or is it a temporary measure? Those are the two things that I'm looking for.
What else are you looking for? I mean, do you think we're going to reach a temporary compromise? Is that what you guess for, either tonight or possibly tomorrow morning?
I do, because again, keep in mind that what this is negotiations, and especially with these Tea Party type of people in the lower house of Congress, what they really want to do, what both sides want to do, is they on purpose didn't want to do it too early because have people take pot shots, etc. They do it at the last minute, say, now we're coming to an agreement, then it kind of forces everybody to swallow.
So what does a temporary compromise look like, John? Are we talking, I mean, what will the tax cuts look like? Obviously, unemployment benefits will be extended. That's a huge one. And then you said military cuts, too, should be prevented, right, in a temporary compromise, I guess?
I think unemployment is the number one. That's clear, because that's going to affect people, you know, immediately. Also, I think the president will probably get his $250,000 limit versus...
you do think that'll happen?
Probably, versus Boehner's. Clearly won't be anywhere near Boehner's $1 million that he wanted as a single whatever. And again, as you and I have discussed, other parts of the country do not realize how big a cut this will be to the military. Yeah. We in San Diego clearly realize that, and believe me, we are holding our breaths. I'm talking active duty, defense contractors. Keep in mind, defense contractors have bills out that they don't know if they're going to get paid or not.
Let's talk about the local scene. Now, Bob Filner has been a little slow. Some say slow, others say, you know, this is sort of the normal course of things, and this is how it goes in terms of assembling his staff. Normal or something else going on there, John?
Oh, I think it's absolutely normal. Again, I'll go with the cliche is that it's better to get it right than to get it fast. And I will go as far as to say is, if you look at his picks so far, the ones that have been announced, they've all been stellar. I mean, he is... we're the 8th largest city. He's doing what he should be doing, and that's getting the cream of the crop. Lee Burdick just resigned from the Port Commission. Very prominent lawyer in town, very, very smart lady. Donna Fry, not only is she going to be very good for the administration, but she has a following, constituency that she brings that helps the mayor. So those, his chief of staff, really so far the announcements have been stellar. So I see it continuing that way. I don't think it's slow at all.
John, there is no crystal ball, but 2013 and San Diego politics, what do you see happening? What do you think will be the big struggles, perhaps the big stories that we'll be covering this year?
I think one of the interesting stories that I think a lot of people are reading wrong is to watch the City of San Diego Council, even though the majority of the council is the same party as the mayor, doesn't necessarily mean they're always going to get along and agree on everything. And now we have a strong mayor veto, that type of thing. So that's kind of interesting. Keep in mind, 2 of the new council members are first time in office.
Right.
So they're a little untested, so they're going to have a little bit of a hotter spotlight on them without a doubt.
Do you think that the chamber will change its dynamic in terms of the politics with the former mayor going over and heading the chamber?
Sure it will, for one real basic reason, and that is former Mayor Sanders, when he was in office, disagreed with candidate Filner about several policy issues.
Right.
Expansion of the convention center, you know, stadium, those type of things. So now that he's representing the business community, I'm assuming his position's not going to change, and if those are in contrast with the mayor, that's the dynamics you want to keep an eye on.
That will be.
And I think we have a managed competition battle ahead, too.
Again,
Does that appear to be the case?
Absolutely. Although you're talking to somebody, there's been several managed competition that have gone through, and the old mayor. But keep in mind, the city staff has won all of them. So a lot of people, conservatives, are saying, "Is it true managed competition?"
All right. Well, we'll just have to wait and see, right?
213, here we come.
We always talk about these things, and then, you know, we have plenty to cover as the year winds down. All right, John, thank you so much.
Certainly.
Happy New Year
Thanks,
to you.
John.
Happy New Year.
New Year.
All right, it is day 4 at the International Auto Show.